So today I'll be doing something that my grandma been pushing me, been prophesizing on me, and just egging me on to do all my life. And that is sharing what I know about the Bible, what I know about God to other people, and teaching other people about faith in Christ, about the Bible, about God. And I used to always think she was crazy. I'm like, Grandma, I ain't nobody preaching, and I'm never gonna do that. But as I grow more in my faith and as my relationship with God just continue to grow over the years, I do see a need for it. And so this is my, leap of faith into what, she believes I was, I guess called to do in a way. And with that being said, I think there's issues that we see in the world that I believe only can be addressed through, faith in God and understanding, God's intentions and plans in the world. And with that being said, I think a lot of people in this new age, like it's the spirituality. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious, which I understand. And you got I'm spiritual, but I don't do all the Bible and all that stuff. And so what I want to talk about today is just some of the things that I believe the church plays a role in as to why people don't have faith in God like they used to, why people don't have relationships with God like they used to, and why you see a lot of people questioning God, and going against God, so to say. Big disservice we do of God's faith to the younger generation is, one, having unrelatable messages, and two, having an unrelatable messenger. And what I mean by that is, when I was growing up in church, man, like I kind of rebelled from it and kind of felt like it was a little boring. It wasn't really relatable to me because it was an unrelatable message. Like the church at times make Christ and make God and, faith and living a godly life, it makes it seem like grown people's solutions. You know what I mean? It makes it seem like it's the solutions to grown people issues. It make it seem as if Christ only dealing with adults and he only dealing with grown people situations. And okay, well, I'm gonna wild out and enjoy my life and live it up. And then when I get to the age like 50, 60, like y'all, okay, then these messages can relate to me. But I think that's a huge disservice because that ain't true at all, man. Like as a young man, as a young woman, the things that you're dealing with, whether it's insecurity, whether it's wanting to be accepted, whether it's, just fear of your future, worry about your future, anxiety about the people in your life, or anxiety about the things you want, or just not really knowing, man, what life really about. All of these things that young people deal with, man, it's answers for you in Christ. It's answers for you in the Word. And part of, man, what I've been blessed to be, given an opportunity to do is, ministering and working with youth when it comes to the Bible. So being able to relate these stories and relate these blessings and relate just spiritual wisdom to younger people and showing them how like they can move different and the things that they into, you know what I mean? Like whether it's sports, whether it's, being successful, whether it's, having a career, whether it's, having confidence in yourself, whether it's all these different ventures that y'all into. Man, Christ ain't some solution that you gotta wait till you 50 and 60 and you done lived all your life and now you come to talk to Jesus about things. It's, man, Christ can come meet you right where you at. And so with that being said, I think that's a huge ball that I think has been dropped when it comes to meeting young people with messages of the Bible that relate to them, not just making them feel like it's boring and outdated. And then two, the biggest thing, I think, another big disservice, I think this is the biggest one, is an unrelatable messenger. So when I was going to church, like most young dudes, you see the pastor or the preacher, and it's an older dude, usually got gray hair, gray beard and whatnot, and he in a nice suit. And the way he talk is kind of like it's like performative, and it's exaggerated, and like you hear the way he carry himself, and you kind of look at him and you're like, well, I don't really see myself in that. That's people like myself, man. Tattoos, that music y'all listen to, it's a temptation for me too, bro. It sounds just as good to me too. Like social media is a distraction for me too. I'm looking at the same things y'all looking at and having to tell myself like, but I know it ain't no substance in that. I know that ain't gonna lead to nowhere. Let me stop scrolling, man. Let me not be fooled or tempted by, women or, stuff like that. Or let me not be tempted by money and just chasing after the bag. And then even with like clout, man, wanting clout and wanting to be the man for the wrong reasons. All the things that young people are tempted by, they don't see somebody who represent themselves standing with God and walking with God for them to be like, you know what? If that person is doing it or he make it look good or man, like if God working with a man like that, okay, man, that's like, I'm interested. I think we need our young men more than anything. So I really think those are two areas where the church really got to step up and address, man, like is making these messages relatable to young people. And then also, man, the representation of the messenger. Unrelatable messengers can keep people away from God just as much as an unrelatable message. Look at what typical men of God look like. You don't really see solid, masculine, dudes who like got like strong character and like just kind of give off that sense of like discipline and power. And the Bible talks about that. Like God didn't give us a spirit of being timid, a spirit of timidity. He gave us a spirit of power, love, and self-control. So he wants people to exude power and his discipline and like love. And so with that being said, it's like representation matters, man. And when you got these young people, especially young black men, if they don't see themselves in a messenger, you never get a chance to get to the point of talking to them about faith in God because they done shut down already and just see you as somebody that they just can't connect to. And so I think that's a real big issue that got to be addressed with. You just need more men of God stepping out and serving these young folks and really being intentional about mentoring and discipling young men, because what I'm learning about young men is they want mentorship, they want brotherhood, they want camaraderie, they want to be disciplined, they want to be guided, they want advice. Whether they call you OG or whether they call you Unc, it's their way of saying I respect you and I look up to you. But a lot of dudes waste that opportunity where they can relate to them, but you got some of these older dudes trying to be cool with the young dudes and you lead them down the wrong path. But then the dudes who got the information, the resources, and the guidance and the game and men of God who can give them the right stuff, when they talk to them, it's always from this sense of disconnect where it's like you look, talk, and carry yourself so different than anything they've ever seen, where you just no connection. Man, you gotta meet the people where they at, and you gotta come to people as they are. And I think that's how you gather more people in to then, man, share your faith and bring them into God. So that's two areas I think really got to be addressed, man, is relatable messages for the youth and relatable messengers. If those two things can really get addressed, I think you start to gather a lot of these young people and you start to really, really build some influence in this world, man, with just continuing the work of God.